So for the headliner repair, basically we're going to take this whole headliner assembly out. We've got to remove the center light fixture, the dome light to get that out of the way. Then we've got some ugly, nasty, decrepit visors to take off. Those are just some screws, some trim around here. We got Phillips head screws around the top there. You can see them back here at the back as well. It's just a matter of taking those out, and then this should drop down and pull out. And there is one down here on the A-pillar at the front. I think this is already cracked, but you don't want to crack yours if it's not already cracked. So 3 screws on that comes out. Yeah, and there's the piece I was talking about. It's already been cracked off, so I don't know if that can be glued. We'll see. Those stay put until you snap them out, rotate the base out. Yeah, there's that one out as well. Now we get the last piece of trim here. And that piece is out. Yeah, I had that off camera there. Right, but these dress covers for the seat belts just pop right off the top, lifts off, and then if you kind of push this down out of the way, the sides will snap through. You can kind of push that through with your fingers from the back. That's how they come out. With the coat hook, got a little pin on there that goes in that hole, so you don't want to break that off. Not a tragedy if you do, but it'd be nice to keep it intact so it doesn't rotate willy-nilly on you when you don't want it to. So you can see here, this is pretty typical on these interior and trim parts. It's got a little button thing that hooks into a little slot there, snaps in. So no worries that came out. You just pop that back into place. And there it is. So when I pulled that, this little clip, right, that's what's holding the interior in place over there in the corner where it didn't just come loose. But we just slide that right back in, just pulled down and slid off, no big deal. I know that clip behind, these things can get a little brittle. I don't want to risk breaking this panel off with that tab, so got that out. This, I know that it slid down from looking at the other part that we took off, so I'm just going to slide it off over there. Slide it off the edge of the door panel over here where it hooks. So we slide it forward. And off we go. Yeah, our speaker grill is kind of disintegrated in there. I'm gonna take that out and dump that in the trash right now before I get 50 bazillion parts in. While we're at it, there's another little button here. So I went and grabbed upholstery tools. These come in sets. They're not all that expensive. They're very handy to have if you're gonna be popping any door panels off. This is the safest way to do it. This, headliners, whatever. Various sizes, angles. If you got to go this way, you can go there. If you need more leverage, you can come at it this way. You've got a gap under it, right? If you got a fairly tight spot, you've got it, like this is really tight against the metal, then you may have to start with a pry tool like this for speaker or grill covers and things like that. Really handy. But this will get things started that are really tight. Then if you don't have enough leverage, you just go in with a guy like this and pry it right out. I'm doing that one-handed, so that's easier when you got two hands. But that's it. That's how they come out. Got some. See that it's appears to be pretty well intact, not cracked. We'll see what it looks like once we get it off and get the covering off of it. There's still a little bit left to do. You can see there's a button. There's a button there to be pulled out. Another one here on each side. The backing just tore right here. I'm gonna pull this down. Rats. Try with needle nose first. Get across that in the back and kind of pry it. Like so. Presto. And that's now out. Get this down below the steering wheel, I think is the trick. Just work it out bit by bit, not putting too much strain on that. Do not want to crack this bad boy any more than it already is. And voila. So here is our decrepit headliner, nasty, dusty. I got in the other night after working in there to take all the trim out to get in position to do this. When I went in, my hat was covered with stuff, and I thought, great, that's probably all over me too. You can see that this is faded a lot, right, as expected. This interior is called crystal blue. I'm intentionally going with a two-tone in here. I'm going to put a gray headliner on it. No harm in that. Other things like the carpet and floor mats, they specifically spec crystal blue, and I want those two to match. Those need to match right next to each other, but this is over your head. And the headliner material, they don't call it by the same colors. The headliner, the people that do the foam backed material have their own names, their own colors, so you could send off for swatches and try and match it up if you want. I'm not going to go through all that. We're just going to do a nice gray. Let's go see what that looks like. Since I think it's in the box in there, go check that out and see what it's going to look like.